Welcome to Creative Tien channel. Today I'm going to knit some spider webs because Halloween is coming up. And we can use knitting machines to quickly knit up some home decorations. And I have some examples here. Basically we are going to knit some triangles and then we'll assemble it into a circle. And I'm going to use LK150 knitting machine. So basically any knitting machine will work. I'm going to use the medium size yarn on my LK150 knitting machine. And it's not critical what size of yarn or what color works best. I picked this gradient yarn. I think it will add some interest. I don't mind some color instead of just totally black. This is just a quick fun project, so the tension is not critical. I'm going to give it the biggest tension, tension 9. And for the mast tension, I can set it to around 7. And first, we need to know how big we want the web to be. If you cast down more, you will have a bigger section of the triangle. And we are going to start from the widest point and reduce to the sharp point. And we are going to cast down with some stitches in between. And depends on how wide you want it to be, you can adjust it from around 3 stitches in between or 5 or 6. I'm going to do the 6 stitch in between. I find it easier to see that net pattern. If it's very close together, it's hard to see that effect of the lines. See, this one has a wider spacing in between the knitted stitches, and this one has less spacing. So this one looks more like a spider web. And the spider web looks kind of neat on both sides. You might want to use the back side too. Now I'm going to have 6 stitches in between. And I'm going to repeat about 6 times. So that's my cast on. I have 6 sections, so totally 7 needles out. And I will just do a simple E-rub cast on. Hold the stitches to the back, push it to the back. And we can start with knitting a few rows. And again, it's not that critical how many rows you want to start with. I will knit 3 rows before decreasing. And make sure place the weight. Now you start to see the lines. And then we can start decreasing. I find the easiest way is just to decrease 1 stitch at a time from outside. So we just use transfer tool and move the outer stitch in. So the left side, move 1 stitch in, and the right side, move stitch in, and place the empty needles back to the A non-working position. And we'll knit 1 row. And we'll keep repeating the same. We decrease 1 stitch at a time, only the outer 2 stitches. If you want to decrease faster, so it creates a bigger angle, you can decrease 2 stitches at a time, or even 3 if you want. So that will make the decrease faster. You'll be a bigger angle. For this project, I'm just going to keep it the same. And when there are two stitches next to each other, you keep doing the same thing. The outermost stitch, move to the next one. So those two stitches become one stitch. And if you make mistake here and there, it's okay because this is a spider web. So it's nice to be a little bit irregular. It will look more organic and real. So we just keep going until we have a few needles left. We are near the end of the top. You can finish up anytime. I think I will keep reducing a few more until it's around 7 stitches left in the center. Now I have 7 stitches left. I'm going to bind off, and you can bind off any way you like. I transfer to the next stitch, knit 1 stitch, transfer to the next, knit 1 stitch, and cut the yarn. So that's our first section of the spider web, and we'll just keep doing several more until it creates a circle. I finished the 8 pieces. I think it will be enough to complete the circle, and some of them I placed face up, some are face down. This is the wrong side, this is the right side. You can see the stitches, and I try to mix up the color a little bit. So the next thing is just to sew it up, and you can use a yarn, you can crochet the edge, or you can use a cotton thread and use a smaller needle, so it's not going to get too bulky. So that's the final spider web. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and happy knitting.